Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome back to our seminar session. You are all know we have gathered here for the webinar on the topic Introduction to Metaverse, organized by the Department of Computer Science and Department of Computer Application. Here, my duty is to welcome everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome our Dr. C.H. Jayashree ma'am, respected principal of JDT Islam College of Arts and Science, Kozhikode, Kerala, to this webinar. And now I welcome Nimisha, the HOD of BCA, Bachelor of Computer Application, to this webinar. Now now with great pleasure to introduce and welcome our resource person, Vishnu Shivan, software engineer of TCS. Here, he's experienced different subjects in our industry, like game developer, and he also experienced in VR and AR technologies. And I heartily welcome sir to this function, to this webinar. And I express my welcome speech to our teachers inside our JDT and other teachers and students to the other colleges. And all of you, welcome all to the webinar. Thank you. So let it start. Hello, sir. Sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Veena. I think
Okay,
I'm
sir.
audible, right?
Welcome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So, good afternoon, all. I think hope everyone are doing good. So, before moving to this session, I would like to thank JDT for giving me this wonderful opportunity to take a session on Metaverse. So, without further delay, let's jump on to the topic. So, let me share my screen.
Sure, sir.
Oh, you are able to see my screen?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So, today we are trying to learn only three things. What is Metaverse? Where is Metaverse? And of course, how we can create it. So let's begin with what is Metaverse. So, the Metaverse, the term Metaverse was coined by the author Neil Stephenson in his science fiction novel Snow Crash. So after that, in the last couple of months, because we could see a tremendous improvements or the popularity in the Metaverse side. So there is no well-defined definition for Metaverse. So sometimes someone says this is going to be a 3D version of internet. Sometimes some expert says that this is a network of 3D world, or this could be a digital world that exists parallel to the physical world. There are a couple of definitions for that. You can take any one of them. As the expert or the CEO of Meta or Facebook says that this is going to be a digital version of the internet or the 3D version of the internet. So this is all about what is Metaverse. So sometimes you might feel the definition of Metaverse. You can take any one of them. Maybe you can say it as a network of 3D virtual world where we can do all the activities that we are currently doing in our physical. We can meet together, we can interact it, we can work, or we can collaborate, we can express our feelings. Everything we can do that in that virtual world. So when you talk about the 3D version of internet, you just understand primarily, we just try to interact with the web using our normal keyboard mouse mechanism where we used to communicate with the textual format. So after that, after a period of time, we just moved to the normal, the media based communication where now we are able to communicate video, audio, or other 2D formatted content. The next iteration will be definitely on the 3D side of it. So there, where we will able to communicate in a 3D format manner, or we will be able to transmit content in the 3D format. So that will be the metaverse. Then why it is so much popular today? So the term become popular after this pandemic. So the COVID outbreak hits lot of areas in our daily life. Of course, the shopping or the retail and the manufacturing industry got a lot of issues due to this COVID pandemic. But fortunately, this pandemic accelerates the growth of AR VR adoption, and they are almost all industries are now trying to use or trying to convert their normal solution into a digital one. So of course, you can experience the same effect in the education sector as well. So if you look at the education side, uh, previously or maybe 2 or 3 years back, we used to do our education in an offline manner, right? Now it just got moved to the hybrid sector. So no one is going to do the offline mode 100%, right? Similarly, there we can see a couple of changes in the shopping sector as well. In that way, this pandemic create a opportunity for this AR VR adoption. In that way, this the growth of metaverse, and of course, in the last Google Facebook Connect or the Meta Connect, the Facebook CEO or the no, sorry, the Meta CEO announced that they are going to change their company names to Meta. You might see it is in the last October 28th in their annual connect. They just announced that they are going to change their vision to Meta, or they are more focused on the Meta side of it, or they're trying to create a solution or a product in the metaverse world. So that also hits a huge popularity. Or if you search it in the user in that time, you could see a couple of news regarding this Meta name change, and you can experience this change in our daily uh, life. If you take your WhatsApp or Instagram, definitely you will get a message saying that with a infinity symbol saying that they just renamed it to Meta. And Facebook is really invested $500 billion in this metaverse space. In that way, you could understand why what is the pop or how much it's going to be beneficial for in the coming years. Definitely, Facebook will create lots of interesting solution from this metaverse world. Then, of course, you might confuse or you might confuse that metaverse is all about Facebook or this Zuckerberg thing, right? But it's not true, because it's not going to be a single owner thing, or the ownership is not belongs to a single company or to the like Facebook. It's not the case, because it is a decentralized platform where it's not only Facebook or no, sorry, the Meta, the Microsoft, the all tech change, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, the Al, I think Alpha. This is the companies already investing their time and money to create a metaverse world in their form. So already Microsoft is come up with their own platform called Mesh, which is a which enables a mixed reality capabilities where we will able to interact with the metaverse world through the mixed reality headset. They are mixed reality headset called these uh, Microsoft HoloLens 2. Similarly, NVIDIA is already coming up with a platform called Omniverse, where we will be able to push our metaverse content into that metaverse world through this Omniverse platform. Uh, Similarly, Apple, in the last couple of months, we got some news from the Apple said they are just trying to create a AR glass, especially for entering to this metaverse world. They are also trying to enter into the metaverse world through these smart glasses. And of course, Amazon is already working on some technologies to create a metaverse scope for their end. And in the last couple of months, the most of the companies taken the macro metaverse is the newest macro goal for the most tech giants, including these Google, Facebook, no, sorry, Google, Meta, and the app companies. And of course, this Facebook in 2014, the Facebook acquires, the Meta acquires this Oculus entire Oculus platform along with that hardware support. So, and they just introduced new world called Horizon World, Meta Horizon World. That is also makes some popularity for this metaverse environment or metaverse 10. So that's all about the popularity of metaverse. So let's move on to the market potential of metaverse. So if you look at the market potential of metaverse, you could see in 2020 the market potential of metaverse is valued at 47 billion US dollar, and if you look at it in 2021, it's rise to 209 billion US dollar. So there is a 5 times increment in this market potential due to this the news around this Facebook rebranding, Meta, the mesh introduction, everything got that much hype to this metaverse world. And expected that the in 2028 the market potential may be increased to 828 or 828 billion US dollar. And if you look at this North American Asia Pacific regions, there we could see a large hype or large growth in the gaming and entertainment industry, especially in the metaverse side. And the gaming will be the most beneficial industry to directly binded with this metaverse world. And it's not only gaming, of course, this live entertainment, social media ads, and AR/VR hardware support. All of them may be converted their solution from this normal offline to the online through this metaverse world. Moving on to the timeline of metaverse. So if you look at the timeline of a metaverse, it start with World Wide Web, the introduction of World Wide Web in 1989. After that, if you in 1992, as we mentioned, the Neil Stephenson mentioned the term metaverse in his novel, science fiction novel, The Snow Crash. And if you look at this 2014, we could see the Facebook acquires virtual reality headset uh, Oculus and the entire platform, Oculus platform. And similarly, in 2015, the decentralized created its first online virtual world, and now decentralized is the one of the popular company where maybe we can call it as an online retail space or retail company. They are for selling or buying these virtual lands. Similarly, 2016, it's an interesting time that the first AR game, the Pokemon Go, get introduced to the market, and we most of them will use this Pokemon Go game, right? So this and in 2021, of course, this Facebook Zuckerberg says that Facebook going to renamed as Meta, and of course, this Microsoft unveils their platform called Mesh. For these are the important timelines of this metaverse uh, journey. And before moving to the core concept of metaverse, we just are trying to understand the uh, building layer of metaverse, or the environment for interacting to the metaverse. Where, of course, these are the three ways to interact or experience or visualize our metaverse content. First, it is virtual reality or VR. So where VR is an immersive experience where we will teleport to that part in a immersive world or a virtual world where we can experience all those things a little bit in virtual space. So assume that if you are in home, you want to experience your college in your environment, in your home or in your room environment. You can do that with the help of this virtual reality support or virtual reality environment. And whereas in augmented reality or in AR, we are not going to teleport to any virtual world. Rather than we will augment or overlay our virtual object on a physical environment or in the real environment. Then we have mixed reality. Mixed reality in the sense it's going to be the combination of, as the name says, it's going to be a combination of virtual reality and augmented reality. So where in mixed reality we will able to interact with this virtual environment, whereas in virtual reality we are just trying to interact with the virtual object. But in mixed reality we will able to interact with the virtual environment, and uh, we can experience the same thing in the real space. So these are the three environments or three ways to interact with the metaverse world. Moving on to the comparison between metaverse and virtual reality. So you might think why we are just putting virtual reality and a metaverse here, right? So if you are experiencing a virtual reality application or virtual reality content and metaverse content without any shared experience or without any persistence point of it, definitely you will feel it as a uh, virtual reality one, rather than if you are experiencing the metaverse content. So there you might confuse between this metaverse and virtual reality thing. If you are just omitting this persistence and the online and decentralized factor of it. So let's compare, or let's understand the difference between metaverse and virtual reality. So as the definition says, that metaverse is an open shared virtual world with 3D virtual spaces where user can interact with others through their avatars. Whereas in a virtual reality, we are going to teleport to a virtual environment. Maybe we can interact with that world with a minimal interaction. No, not going to be the fully immersive way. With a minimal interaction, we will able to communicate to that virtual world in virtual reality space. And the interesting factor when we compare the metaverse and virtual reality is the ownership. So in metaverse, the ownership belongs, if you are creating some content in, or you are pushing some content to the metaverse, where the ownership belongs to you, and there is no, the metaverse is not going to do any analytics on your content. Whereas in virtual reality, if you are push some content to the virtual reality application, that brands owns the content rights. So the brand has the freedom to write, or freedom to do analytics on your data. That's why if you are if you are posting some content to the Facebook or any social media sites, you might see some, assume that if you are talking about a shoe or something like that in your WhatsApp or in your Instagram feeds, definitely after some point of time you could see some kind of advertisement in your Google searches, because they are doing such kind of analytics on your data, and they are just feeding those information to the ad system. But in the metaverse world, metaverse is created in such a way that it is going to be a decentralized platform. So we don't uh, have any option to collect or do analytics on your data, because it's going to be fed into a blockchain system rather than just storing into a server side and server space. And when you talk about the technology side, definitely metaverse can be experienced in a different format. Maybe we can experience the metaverse world in AR, VR, and MR. The three spaces we can experience this our metaverse content. Whereas in virtual reality, it's going to be limited space, so we can just simulate the environment in the virtual reality through your virtual reality headset, and we can experience. That's the limitation of virtual reality when you compare with metaverse. And of course, metaverse is going to be give you a wide range of experience, uh, but in virtual reality it's going to be a limited one. And the crucial factor when that the persistence that makes metaverse unique than our metaverse makes more points to than this virtual reality application, because metaverse is going to be shared and persistent virtual world. In the sense, it's not going to be end when you just stops your VR experience. So if you switch off your device, if you are experiencing some virtual reality application, and if you are going to switch off your device, definitely your virtual reality experience stops there. But whereas in metaverse, it's a 24 by 7 virtual world which is hosted on the internet. So we don't, it's not going to end even though if you are putting if you are exiting from that session, so it will still be available there. Just like our the Microsoft Mesh or the Facebook Horizon world, we can experience it in 24 by 7 time. So we don't need to uh, switch off, or we don't need to switch off or switch on that system. This is the major difference between metaverse and virtual reality. Then moving on to the characteristics of metaverse. If you are defining something, uh, you need to understand the most important factor of it, or the characteristics of that particular object, right? So here we are just listed 6 characteristics of metaverse, which is this boundless, decentralized, persistent economic system, immersive, and social experiences. So the boundless says that there is no barrier or there is no end for our metaverse, where we it's going to be a 24 by 7 online platform where we can experience it anytime, and there is no restriction for the user count or the user technology or the company count. Nothing is there. We can n number of user can interact to the metaverse where, regardless of time and space requirements. And of course, metaverse, the decentralization or decentralized uh, factor makes metaverse more unique than any other technologies, because uh, with the help of this the blockchain technology, we will create a metaverse where in a decentralized fashion. There is no central authority to govern these metaverse applications, so there is no control, so anyone can interact to the metaverse world, or anyone have the freedom to put the content to the metaverse where. Similarly, as we mentioned, it's going to be a persistent world. There is no uh, unplugging, or there is no reset for your metaverse world. It's just like our website. It will be available 24 by 7 in online space. We can experience it anytime we want. And economic system, of course, metaverse is always talking about the virtual economy. Similarly, so there is the crypto currency and the NFTs comes to play. So where we will able to buy or sell our virtual assets or the digital assets with the help of these NFT tokens or the cryptocurrencies. And of course, it's going to be a fully immersive world where we will experience it through our headsets or XR tools such as these Oculus Quest to Microsoft HoloLens to some through these HMD devices, we will experience this metaverse world and the social experience. So, as this Facebook CEO mentioned that this metaverse is going nothing but it's going to be a online platform or online 3D virtual world which is more focused on the social connection. Maybe we can think of it as a 3D version of Facebook. Of course, there metaverse all talks about this social interaction. So assume that we are in the COVID scenario, we were in home, so we don't have any option to connect each other. So you just forgot about the Zooms and WhatsApp and other 2D connections. So assume that there is no option to interact each other and express our feelings, uh, or there is no option to uh, comes together in a common place, right? So uh, that's the metaverse is going to fill that issue, or metaverse is trying to resolve that particular social interaction issue. So metaverse is go if you are creating some metaverse world, definitely it's going to be a socially interactable one. So with the help of this AI virtual assistants, or with the help of some uh, this blockchain technology and other things, we will create a metaverse world which is going to be a central space quite similar to our social media and platforms, where we will able to comes together in a common place and we can do the activities that we are currently doing in our physical space, such as this the meetings, the our work, or maybe the social activities, all those things. So let's move on to the metaverse elements. These are some of the core elements of metaverse. So it start with digital currency, marketplace, non-fungible tokens or NFTs, infrastructure, device dependence, gaming. And in the other side, we could see this online shopping, workplace, social media, digital humans, and natural language processing. Hope you already understood what is social media, online shopping, workplace, digital humans, and all, right. So we'll focus only on the key elements of metaverse, where it includes this avatar, HMT devices, digital assets, virtual spaces, NFTs, and Web 3.0. So let's start with avatar. So avatar is nothing but a digital character. It's going to represent that user in the metaverse world. And the HMD device, this act as the intermediate between the human and this particular metaverse world. So we can wear this headset, some kind of headsets, to interact with the metaverse world through maybe through our eyes, or that particular controller that attached with that headset. Then we have digital assets. This is nothing but it's anything that can be stored uh, in the form of digital content. Then we can call it as a digital assets. But it should contain a unique ID. That's the only constraint there. So if you have something stored digitally with a unique ID attached to that, then we can call it as a digital asset. Then we have virtual spaces. It's nothing but a virtual platform to build the digital version of the world. So there are, as I mentioned, there are a couple of companies or the couple of frameworks already available to provide this do the trading of these virtual spaces. So the first one is, of course, the Decentraland platform. This is the company introduced this virtual world to us in, I think, in 2040. They just introduced their first virtual world. From there, they are the one who is more focused on the virtual asset or virtual space creation and the trading of it. Just like we can buy some lands, virtual lands from Decentraland platform. And similarly, we can sell it as well. And we have not only Decentraland, we have Sandbox is there, Meta Horizon World, Microsoft Mesh. These are the other platforms available for doing this virtual space trading. And we have NFTs. So NFT is nothing but it's going to be a virtual token that serves the ownership of your physical or virtual assets in the digital space. So assume that if you try these open sea sites, you could see some NFT tokens there. It is nothing but the digital arts which are associated with some virtual tokens there. So we can buy or sell the art using these NFT tokens. So there are some marketplaces available to those do it, such as this OpenSea and Rarible. And the last one, Web 3.0. Web 3.0, this is going to be the you can tell or you can assume it as the iteration of the World Wide Web, and basically more focus on the blockchain technology. It's not nowadays we are just creating everything, or we are just creating the content and push everything to the central server, right? So if you are pushing some content to Facebook or any social media sites, it's going to be saved in a central repository, right? But whereas in Web 3.0, it is more focused on this blockchain factor. So it's going to be a decentralized platform where uh, we are going to save the content in a blockchain space. So you can think of it, or you can try the first Web 3.0 bridge as this, the Brave browser. So if you are trying this Brave browser, it's already enabled with the Web 3.0 functionality. We can buy the NFT tokens, and we can connect to the marketplace. Everything we can do it in the Brave browser. That is a one example for implementing or interacting with the Web 3.0 world. So these are the key elements of metaverse. So let's move on to the architecture of metaverse. So this is the basic. We have two type of architectures. So this is the basic architecture of metaverse world, where you can basically divide in, you can divide it as 5 or 6 elements. It start with the human society, infrastructure, interconnected virtual worlds, digital life, and metaverse engine. So let's start with human society. So human society is nothing but it talks about the user interaction in the metaverse world. So the metaverse is capable to capture the human psychologies as well as the social interactions. So a human can control their metaverse world through their avatar that is available in their in that metaverse space. So this can be achieved through these devices, these basically the XR and BZI devices. So with the help of these interactable devices in maybe the AR, MR, and VR devices, through that we will able to communicate the metaverse way. That is all about the whole human society part of metaverse architecture. And then the infrastructure, like, so as this main name suggests, it's going to be the core infrastructure. It offers a core infrastructure for this metaverse world. So where it's contain 4 layers. First is the sensor, actuator, communication, computation, and storage part of it. So the sensor and actuators help us to collect the data from, or the collect the input from the user side or from the environment, and feed it to the metaverse engine. So with the help of this sensors actuator, we will able to collect the surroundings data. And this communication layer talks about the network connection, or it serves the network layer, where we will able to interact with different metaverse world, or these interconnected virtual worlds. And of course the computation layer. So hope you have gone through the cloud architecture and the cloud computing and edge-based computing in the previous session, I think the morning session. So here, the computational layers is more focused on the computing of this metaverse world, where we will focus on this cloud and edge-based computing. So we will do some kind of operation in the cloud and some sort of operation in the edge device. And of course, as the name suggests, storage more focus on the storage of our data and the process. Sometimes it will do the caching and other mechanisms, the processing mechanisms. Then we have a digital life, interconnected world, and metaverse engine. Metaverse engine is the core part of our metaverse world or metaverse app, where uh, it's going to do lot of operation by just collecting the data from the infrastructure layer, basically the big data that is received from the surroundings with the help of this actuator and the sensor devices. So with all of the those data will be processed by this metaverse engine also for providing a seamless interaction to that world through these interactive devices such as these XR devices and the BCA devices. So here, this metaverse engine is serve in a basically work through with these three technologies: this AI, digital twin, and blockchain uh, technology. So where AI is mainly useful for creating doing this scene creation, scene rendering, and transition recommendation systems. Whereas in digital twins mainly focus on this 3D modeling and simulation of this content, digital content in the metaverse world. And blockchain is more focused on the decentralization factor of it and creation of the decentralized finance or decentralized infrastructures. Then move on to the interconnected virtual world. As the name suggests, this is nothing but the collection of virtual worlds, where you could see virtual world 1, 2, 3 here. Right? So this is going to be the collection of virtual world, and each virtual world contain at least two items. One will be the virtual environment, and second one will be the virtual goods and services. So what is a virtual environment? So we already mentioned that the virtual environment is nothing but it's going to be a digital form of our physical world. And virtual goods, it's quite similar to our normal goods and services. It's going to be a digital version of it. So such as a digital version of our, the TV, fridge, and other devices. It's quite similar to that. We will create some sort of digital assets in the virtual world. We will call it as a virtual goods. So this is all about the architecture of metaverse. So we have one more style. So this is the most famous architecture of, we can call it as a 7-layer architecture of the metaverse. So where it starts from the infrastructure layer and it's end with the experience. So it is quite similar to the previous one. So here also we could see the infrastructure layer, metaverse engine. Instead of that, it is more focused on the layer factor of it. So it starts with the infrastructure layer, as we mentioned before. It's it's more focused on the infrastructure part of the metaverse world. So such as this connectivity factor of it. It includes this 5G connectivity, web, Wi-Fi interactions, GPU, and similarly, it talks about some point of this storage and computing layer as well. And next, we have human interface. Human interface, in sense, it's all about the intermediate device to interact with the virtual world. So here, this the XR devices such as the mobile, smart glasses, wearables, haptics, all the devices that we are using to interact with the metaverses comes under this human interface layer. Then we have decentralization. So this is a layer where we are focusing on these blockchain, AI agents, microservices, and edge computing technologies. So with the help of this blockchain, microservice, and edge computing technologies, we will enable our metaverse world in a decentralized form. And we have the core layer. This is a spatial computing layer where the developer is going to do a lot of experiments to create or make our metaverse well beautiful, or make the metaverse well more powerful than normal virtual world. So here, special computing layers includes various 3D engine, especially 3D game engines, and the AR, VR, MR platforms. Not only this AR, VR, MR platform, it is also including the spatial mapping mechanisms for understanding the environment and adapting the environment, that metaverse environment, to the with this real environment, such as if you are experiencing this metaverse world in a bright environment, the metaverse world light's going to change in that to maybe the light maybe more bright, or sometimes maybe the light could reduce to the dark mode or something like that. So this spatial computing layer is quite useful for building such kind of operation or performing such kind of activities in our metaverse apps or metaverse worlds. Then we have creator economy. So creator economy always talks about the creation of digital assets without worrying about the uh, technology factor of it. So it's more focused on the creation of digital assets without any technical support, or without any technical factor of it. Then we have discovery. So discovery is a art network layer where we are going to uh, experience this metaverse well, or we are going to uh, get some recommendation from the metaverse well based on other user experiences. So with the help of this discovery layer, there is something called recommendation engine, and the I forgot the entire exact name. There is something called a rating system. So there are two rating systems: inbound and outbound rules. With the help of this rating systems, this metaverse world will recommend you some suggestion while you are entering to the metaverse space. So with the help of discovery only, we are doing this kind of recommendation systems. Then we have the experience layer, where it's all talk about the application factor of the metaverse, where we could see this games, social, experts, theater, and shopping, other factor of the metaverse world. Then moving on to the next part of it, this is the key players, so key companies that working on the infrastructure part of the metaverse world or metaverse sector. So if you look at the cloud scalability and hosting side, you could see the Polystream, Maverick, similarly Tencent, the creator of the PUBG game. So there are quite number of companies already working on the metaverse infrastructure side. Then if you look at the visualization and digital twin side, where we are going to create some solution or experiencing this content in our HMD devices. So there we have Unreal Engine, Unity, Omniverse, SDK. These are the widely used softwares or widely used solution for building the metaverse world. And we have there are something available in the artificial intelligence side, decentralization infrastructure, and especially in the connectivity side. And if you look at the metaverse gateways, so these are some of the applications or some of the solution which help us to push our content into the metaverse network. Here we have Facebook Horizon, Separato, Roblox. These are the major main companies that are already working in the centralized form to push our content into the metaverse world. Similarly, in the decentralized sector, we have sandbox, decentraland, and somnium space. Let's move on to the requirements of metaverse. So these are the five requirements of metaverse. So if you are trying to build some metaverse content, you should you should aware about these HMD devices, haptic sensors, dev engine, metaverse SDK, and of course this 3D content. So let's begin with HMD devices. uh, these are the widely used or the commonly used HMD devices to interact with or create the metaverse world. So the Microsoft HoloLens 2 is one of the premium headsets that are available in the markets to visualize the content in the MR space, and this is considered as one of the best solution for visualizing the metaverse world. And we have a metaverse, a Meta Quest 2, which is from the Facebook or the Meta company. So they just acquired the Oculus platform and hardware in 2014, and they just built a standalone device, the Meta Quest 2. So now, the last week we got a news from Quest or this uh, Meta site saying that the Microsoft Quest, the Meta Quest 2 is considered as the best solution for interacting to the metaverse world. And most of the users, or 90% of the users, metaverse users, is using consider this Meta Quest 2 as the uh, premium premium gateway to interact with the metaverse world. And we have HP Reverb G2, and similarly the smart glasses Lenovo Think Reality, etc. These are the commonly used HMD devices to interact with the metaverse world. So this is the one of the best metaverse solutions that are available in the market from Microsoft side. This is a collaborative platform to experience or uh, doing collaboration in a common space. So let's see the demo of it. So with the help of the Microsoft HoloLens 2, we can experience this mesh world where uh, we will be replicated as these avatars. So with the help of this avatar, we can uh, express our feelings, and we can meet together in a common space, and we can do work, or maybe something we can interact, or we can schedule meetings or the things in the virtual way. This is a one metaverse solution that are readily available in the market. For if you are creating some content, we can push that content to the this metaverse world as well. And we have one more from the Meta Horizon Meta site, which is called this Meta Horizon Workrooms. So this is considered as a flagship product where we can do the same uh, operation that we already performed in the Microsoft Mesh, but this is going to be a fully virtual world rather than just creating a mixed reality experience. This Meta Horizon Workrooms works on the Meta Quest 2 device, which is a VR headset where we will able to experience a collaborative platform or a social interactive platform in a VR mode. So let's see how it is look like.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello. Uh, I think the audio is muted. I think that audio was muted.
Now, okay, sir. Now, okay.
Yeah, fine. So this is the one demo. So this is also this is now available in Oculus Quest 2 devices. So if you have something, you can experience the metaverse world in our Quest 2 devices. This is one best uh, way to push our metaverse content as well. So if you have something on your metaverse side, you can push to the Meta Horizon workroom space. So we quickly jump on to the this haptic sense is also considered as one of the optional requirement for building our metaverse world. It's contained. We just selected three of them. One is the haptic glove, sense cloud nova, and VR glove. So the haptic glove is working on this, the fluid mechanism, which is quite similar to the functionality that we are seeing it in our JCB machines. So and in sense cloud nova, we are using the feedback, the force feedback mechanism to do this operation, the movement operations. And yeah, we have less time, so we actually move into the next part. So these are the platforms. These are the development platforms available in the markets to create our metaverse content. So we, as I mentioned, this is the Unity, Unreal. These are the prominent 3D engines that are available in the market for creating games and the 3D contents, especially. And the last year, NVIDIA already pushed a platform called NVIDIA Omniverse, where we will able to create our 3D contents, and we can push that contents to the metaverse world as well. And we have a Microsoft Mesh, and similarly Facebook Horizon for developing and pushing the contents into the metaverse network. And if assume that you don't have the bandwidth to procure the devices, or you don't have that much device to experience this immersive world, then we can go with the hubs by Mozilla. This is another WebXR based metaverse platform where we will be able to experience the metaverse world through our browser. Similarly, we have OpenXR and Zepato. These are the key platforms. These are the key players to build our metaverse world. Or these are the uh, IDEs which are quite commonly used to build our metaverse solutions. And if you want to create something from scratch, definitely it's going to be a problem for us, right? So there we are using this metaverse or these SDKs, especially the software development kits. Uh, is quite useful for providing a boilerplate of your code or boilerplate of some solutions. So we don't need to create it from scratch. We can use the templates that given by that SDKs to create our solutions. Similar to that, we have some metaverse SDKs available in the market, which is this Moralis, no NVIDIA Omniverse, Metaverse iOS SDK, Max SD, Oculus Meta Avatar SDK. These are the SDKs that we can use to build our metaverse solutions. So Moralis is more focused on the decentralized side of it. So if you are trying to something on really on the blockchain technology, then we can adopt this Moralis SDK for that. And if you want to directly push the content with minimal uh, technical support, then we can go for Omniverse, and we have Max SD and Oculus Meta Avatar SDK. These are the SDKs that we are using for creating our avatars, especially the avatars into the metaverse applications. And we on to the use cases. The uh, metaverse is going to make a lot of changes in this the 6 areas. especially in the uh, education side of it. So nowadays, none of them are doing their studies online, offline, right? So uh, there also you could experience the power of Byju's and some other solution that already available in the market. So Byju's is the first company. They are just proved that how we can use this AR, VR, or these technologies to make our studies faster or maybe easier and fun, right? So there also we are expecting the education, maybe with the help of metaverse, well, we can improve the education using this engaging guides, or doing it an interactive learning through this interactive learning strategy, or uh, this the ability to create the freedom for creating the content and share it through this metaverse spaces. So if you look at the right hand side, you could see a image where we will able to see the chemical formula of how this oxygen is binding with the hydrogen in a augmented fashion, right? So this is all about the engaging guide. So we can create some guides in this way for uh, experiencing the content in the augmented fashion and more, uh, and it will leads to a more easy way of learning, and the uh, experience is a much more fun way, right? And of course, material is going to hit the manufacturing industry. Why? So if you are creating something big, or some machinery, something from scratch, definitely the companies used to follow this prototyping mechanism, where they will create a prototype and they will test it, and then only they will do, if it is working fine and the all the you know requirements are met, then only they will create that exact solution or exact product. So for in that space, there or most of the companies are facing challenges in the interactivity or interaction factor of it. So the first prototyping will do by the designing will do by one team, the designing team. Then it will shift to or pass to this development team. They will do the prototyping functionality, and then only they will transmit to the testing team. So after that, they will do the integrated testing of it. There, what will happen is that there is no connection between these teams. They are doing it in separate. It as a separate activity. So for reducing these binding issues, we can make the use of this metaverse well, where we will do all this functionality together in a common space. Similarly, we could see some of these metaverse examples in our social medias. So Nike is already created one AR application where we will able to wear, or we will able to try on their footwears, so in an augmented reality fashion. So we don't need to go to that shop to buy these items, or test that item. So rather than we can try this on our home itself. Similarly, most of the companies are trying to move from offline to online through this metaverse world, especially in the shopping and the retail side. And of course, agriculture also got lot of interesting things on the metaverse world. And especially the Ministry of Agriculture in South Korea already created a virtual world where we will be able to see the indoor farming, or educating the people about this indoor farming in that metaverse world. Similarly, other companies also creating some AR technologies to tracking this biological and development data of these plants. And last, you know, there are tremendous opportunity for metaverse world, and tourism or virtual tourism may be the one of the biggest opportunity for using or creating some solution in the metaverse space. So with that, I'm just concluding this session. So if you have queries, anything, we will take it up here. Yeah, thank you so much. Steve.
Thank you, sir. Sir, actually, I have a doubt that how agriculture is related to this virtual environment.
Not directly related, so I assume that this is one of my favorite area because I love to farming and those things. So how it's going to relate to the metaverse world is that, so assume that if you want to train the people about this farming culture, or how we can use fertilizers or some kind of things in the environment, then we can do this training in the metaverse way. So it's going to be a collaborative space where we will one person will talk, or person will stand there as an avatar form. Maybe it will be the instructor, and the other farmers will join to that session through their headsets, and they can experience these things in the metaverse world, for basically more on the training side of it and the visualization of it. So assume that if you want to visualize the plants and other things, or these farming related things, we can do the same thing in the metaverse world with the help of IoT and this digital twin technology.
Okay,
It's
sir.
the simplest answer. So there are a couple of solutions already available in the market. So we are also, from the TC side also, we are trying to build solution in that, especially in that sector, because uh, uh, most of them are not trained, because anyway we need food and other aspect of it. So in that way, we are also trying to create some solution. Not only in the metaverse side, we are just creating solution in the immersive way. In AR, VR, and MR space, with the help of the digital twin and the IoT technologies, for doing and teaching them about the farming and other aspect of
Sir, Fatima Hanina asked you a query. What is Facebook Metaverse?
Facebook metaverse. So it's not Facebook metaverse. So it's not it's not going to be metaverse is it's not a single on it thing, because it's a decentralized one, right? Facebook metaverse or metaverse is talk about, there is something called Meta Horizon Workroom. So we already show a demo video here, right? This is actually Facebook metaverse. They are just built a metaverse platform or a virtual environment where we will able to collaborate together. We can see it in a single space, and we can experience or share our feelings or do something like that. So this metaverse all talks about like our doing our marriage in a virtual mode, or celebrating our birthdays, or celebrating some events, functions. This is all about this is all about the experimental features, or we are just sharing our feelings in this meta horizon world, or you can think of it as just a 3D version of our Facebook or meta.
Sir, one more question from Amira. Does the Metaverse have its own cryptocurrency?
Simple. Metaverse is metaverse is not an application. So it is the funniest thing is that it is not a technology, it is not an application, it is not a framework. Rather, it is just a concept. So where we are just saying that if you have something, just you have an application which is a decentralized one, and it is available 24 by 7 in an online space, and we are able to see the object in a 3D format, and we are able to collaborate it in a single space. Then we can think of it as a metaverse world. That's a not a definition, that's a characteristic of a metaverse app. And there is no dedicated cryptocurrency for a metaverse, but if you take the decentraland or sandbox, so they have the metaverse application. So if you are using a sandbox application, we are using the sand cryptocurrency there. Similarly, if you are using not at the Facebook or the uh, Microsoft is released any cryptocurrency for the time being, where they are still experimenting something on their own platforms. Hopefully, the next coming year they will Meta will introduce their own cryptocurrency. They already tried to introduce the same cryptocurrency in our WhatsApp. So there are some there are some issues already happening in that side. That's why they just stop or they just hold that activity. Maybe hopefully we will see the cryptocurrency in the Meta Horizon workflow in the coming year.
Sir, will the metaverse use quantum computing?
Definitely, because it's not about quantum computing. So there we must understand what is quantum computing, right? We can't use quantum computing for our normal activities. That's the first barrier of using quantum computing. Quantum computing will use, it's already always talk about using the superposition of objects, or maybe called the superposition of our tiny particles. Basically the electron superposition make the use of superposition of the objects to store our content data. So there are lots of research is happening in that area. The last time we found something called a crystal, a time crystal. It's able to store the data in a fraction of period of time. So the quantum computing is try to solve the problem which is how to solve by a normal computer. In the sense, assume that if you want to find the prime number, or maybe the 1000 prime number, something like that, it need that much time to compute that particular prime number. Or if you do give some numbers to understand is it a prime or not, so it will take that much time. Or for simple answers, so assume that if you want to decrypt the SHA hash code, so that's a hash code that's widely used for our normal encryption system. So if you take your the, I think, the Telegram, maybe sometime in the WhatsApp, you could see some message saying that it is end-to-end encrypted by SHA 256 algorithm. So there is no reverse for this algorithm. So if you are able to reverse it, you are going to unlock all these encryption mechanisms. Because for reversing it, there we need that much amount of time, or that much dedicated system, and that much qubits, or maybe we call it as that much bit in your computer, especially in the RAM. Maybe we can call it, we need 1 TB RAM for processing this kind of data. Just simply say that because we need that much big system, or that much sophisticated systems to do those calculations. In that space only quantum computing will work. So assume that if you want to play a game using a quantum computer, that won't work, right? Because that's not the use of quantum computer. In maybe in the future, we will able to do those things in a small, not the entire activity. Maybe we will able to do these small calculations, or so small operations, such as just opening some or loading some OS or something like that in quantum computing. But still, it's not going to be beneficial for the end user, common user, not end user, common user. It's going to be definitely beneficial for the scientists for the first time. So in computer also introduced for the scientists only, then only the Steve Jobs and other tech giants brilliance created it for normal users, right? Definitely in that segment, it may be useful for metaverse in the maybe after 2050 or something like that. For the time being, there is no scope for quantum computing in the metaverse world.
Sir, in future, is we can smell or feel or taste using this metaverse?
Yeah, because I don't have that much time. That's why I just quickly rush on that topic. So there is something called haptic. This is haptic sensors. This is technology that based on is more focused on the touch and feel of it. So this, if you wear this particular gloves, you will able to feel the object weight and the other factor of it. So if you are holding some virtual balls in your metaverse environment or in your app, you will feel that weight in your hand using this pressure and the feedback mechanism. In that similar way, we have a couple of devices already available in the markets to uh, mimic the taste as well as the smell. I think that smell mechanism is already available in some theaters, not in our country. In other countries, in the foreign countries, it's already there. So if you are watching a movie, if some dirt or something in that scene, then definitely we can smell it there. If you are seeing some flowers, we can smell those flowers in that theater. So that's technology is already implemented in foreign countries in some theaters, but still it's not available in our market. Hopefully we will get it in next couple of years. So that's interesting. If you have anything else, we can put it here. And metaverse is not a technology concept, technology, or not an app, not a framework, not a platform, not an idea. It's not a software, nothing like it's a just a concept. From there we are trying to build some solutions. This Meta Horizon workrooms, Microsoft Mesh, and Zapato, the Mozilla apps, these are the applications, or these are the solution which is based on this metaverse theme or metaverse concept. There if you ask can we use this cloud computing in Microsoft Mesh, then maybe we will get answer. They will say that there is no option to add it. Yeah, hope you understand the difference between these things. So just uh, keep that the metaverse is just a concept. It's not any technology factor of it, but uh, the companies is trying to define it. There is no well defined definition available in the market, so they are uh, mm, especially Meta or our Zuckerberg is trying to create some kind of standards to the metaverse world. In the last not in the last week, 2 weeks before, he already introduced 4 headsets in the market, saying that they are just trying to resolve the VR headset issue. So if you're wearing the VR headset for more than 30 minutes of more than an hour, more than 1 hour, definitely you will feel some sort of pressure in your eyes. Sometimes you will get headaches and other health issues. So Facebook is trying to, or Meta is trying to solve those issues and making a standard for this metaverse world. Then only we can say that this is a metaverse technology, or this is a metaverse app, something like that. For the time being, we don't have definition, and we can consider these Facebook workrooms or Meta as the solution. From there, we can develop our own products. So if nothing else, then maybe I sorry to because we
Okay, sir.
took
Okay.
80 minutes extra. Yeah. If you have anything, you can directly post it there, or feel free to connect with me for any technical queries related to metaverse world, or web development, mobile app development, or gaming, IoT, AI, robotics. So you can feel to touch with me, because I already doing some kind of experiments in all these things, especially in normal Android Studio, React Native, Flutter, Angular, the Unity, Unreal, and the IoT, AR, and other sites as well. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful one. So with that, I'm just stopping here. Thank you so much, team, for your inputs and your patience.
Thank you, sir. So
Thank you,
the
sir.
so the webinar session is over right now. It was really informative, right? So I take this opportunity to thank our principal, Dr. C.H. Jayashree ma'am, for encouraging us to organize this webinar. On behalf of JDT Islam Arts and Science and Organizing Committee, I would like to thank Vishnu sir for this extremely relevant address on the topic Introduction to Metaverse. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. Next, I would specially thank Veena ma'am, HOD of Computer Science, and Nimisha ma'am, HOD of BCA, for their motivation and support. And also, I would like to thank Lishma ma'am, our coordinator of this national webinar, for coordinating and encouraging us. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the participants for your sincere and successful participation in this webinar. Once again, thank you everyone. Thank you very much.